Okie doke, so it's not quite morning, it's actually afternoon, and I am still in my jammies. I haven't showered yet. As I said in my last live video, I got a little tired of, not got a little tired, but I didn't want to waste the time showering and just doing all the work that goes into making videos. I just wanted to paint. And once again this morning I was sitting at my computer and I'm like, oh, I gotta take a shower. I gotta do this and gotta do that to get ready for, ready to make another video. I really don't. I'm in my jammies. I smell so bad. I can't stand it. Certain bits of this don't exactly smell terrific right now, but I really need to get this done. I have to do this to set the right tone in my day. I am a painter and this should be my priority. All of this in my studio should be a priority, especially since no one comes to visit me and I'm happy about it. I don't have to worry about going out to lunch with people. So I don't really have to worry about anyone smelling me, and Budsy's not here anymore, so I don't go outdoors or go for walks. So we're just going to tackle this small canvas. I'm going to do what I've wanted to do, which is almost a flower arrangement. The other floral abstracts I've done, they're all abstracts. You can take them and turn them. So if you get tired of a painting being in one direction, you've got it in another direction. It's all balanced. It all makes sense. In this one, I just want to put together like an abstract-y kind of flower arrangement. So I'm going to get the spray painting base started. As you can see, I put down just like basic ideas. Well, you might be able to see. I'm going to get darker chalk of the directions I want the spray painted flowers to go in. I actually cut this for a much larger canvas and then decided to use the canvas for mermaids instead. I don't know why. Once again, who knows why I do anything. So I'm not going to actually paint a flower vase. I'm uninterested in being too obvious. So I'm going to take this stencil that I cut a number of videos ago. And just use it to imply a base. I don't think that's centered, but I'm okay with that too. Yeah, it's not centered. Let's add a couple more lines. It's funny how much I'm okay with. I love the imperfections in art, in painting. Yep, good enough. Good. Okay, so we've got the idea of a vase, and I cut out shapes for what am I thinking of? Bird of Paradise. Where's my green? I need a green. Shoot. Okay. So this is something I'm running into. I'm running out of aerosols. And so once again, consider monthly support on Patreon or sending me a tip through Cash App and PayPal so we can keep this little boat moving. All right, I am totally out of green. Okay, they're going to be blue bird of paradise to start with, it looks like. I'm out of teal. So working with what we've got, which isn't much at this point. I can always change the color. This will actually give me the option to change the color when I get to, oh shit, I need green for, shoot, sorry, I need green for the Ginkgos. Damn it. All right, we're just going to work with what we have. And I will have to change them later, that's all. Can't go up too high. I know what I'm gonna do. Oh, I cut a new one. Good. All right, these are the stems for Bird of Paradise. Once again, they should be green, but in a way, I'm okay for right now in using just the colors that I have. Because like I said, I can always switch this. These can always be changed using an oil paint. And I did that backwards. Oh my God, maybe I should have showered first. Yeah, it's okay. We'll just do, there we go. Now it's making sense. This looks like a hammer and sickle. I actually put the, the stencil down wrong. It's okay. So I'm using whatever color this is. It's like a light, very light, almost minty green. I'm not thrilled with that, but it's what we've got. So let's put in the flowers, the actual blossoms. And I'm only gonna put in 3 because I have other flowers I can fill in with. Where's the, if you don't know, I was a floral designer for 35 years. So I know that we could put, if this canvas were taller, we could put Bird of Paradise up higher. But if we do this on this tiny little canvas, it's just gonna feel weighty up top, plus I don't have the room. Probably throw some of these blossoms in up here, but not the stems. And I did that one backwards too. Oh my God. Oh my God. We can just cover that. I can wipe some of this aerosol off and just cover that. There's nothing in there. Let's see, there might be a drop or 2 in there, so let's try that. Let's try this teal. Nope. There is a drop or 2. I know what to do. So I can add some Ginkgo Leaves with some teal. Keep your fingers crossed on this one. I have literally driven all over my town trying to find this one particular color. Nobody has it. Just when I need teal. It's okay. We might be able to get just enough out of this to make this work. This is a very large. Is it the same one? Can't believe we've gotten anything out of that can. There we go. So I'm going teal with a little bit of blue over the top, and then I can fudge it with my oils. Grab a couple more Ginkgos. These are all stencils I have used in my other floral patterns in the abstracts. I used this once, Ginkgos, the idea of Ginkgos, in a painting I did called Little Ginkgo. And if you look it up online, you can actually see it. Oh, no, it's not over there. I was wearing it yesterday. It's one of my gators. Let's go ahead. I love the shape of them. And a friend said to me, I was kind of stymied on leaves and things. On leaves I could use. And she said, well, I love little Ginkgo. Why don't you do some Ginkgo leaves? Oh, okay, thank you. I forgot about that. One painting I'm particularly proud of. I completely forgot about it. Oh, this is unbelievable. There's still some teal coming out of there. How lucky am I? So like I've said before, if you're going to do aerosol and then put paint over the top, I don't recommend acrylic. I know people do it, but I've had it crack on me. What I suggest, I always suggest oils and using mediums over the top, like I use Neil McGill. But I always suggest thinning the acrylics out just a little bit if you feel like you've gone heavy. Should have my mask on. Because if you go too heavy, I did it in one place, but if you go too heavy, it's going to crack. It's going to crack. You can probably hear it. I live in back of a school. You can hear the kids playing most likely. And my dryer. That's always exciting. Here. Okay, if you notice, I'm not going in the center too much. because this is going to be flowers, and that I can always fill in with another type of paint. Then I have everything hanging over this abstract vase, nondescript abstract vase. See? This is empty. I can always fill it in later. Oh, let's get another ginkgo. Oh, look. Let's do that with that green I'm not fond of. I don't even know what it's called. Okay. That one's coming out particularly heavy, so I'm just dabbing it. I'm dabbing. And as you can see, even though I have a nice stencil here, I'm not using the whole thing. Because why do I have to? And I'm a rebel. Okay, I can actually... There, I just covered up the first bird of paradise that I put down over there and I didn't like. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And when I'm dabbing off some of the aerosol, you can see where I've been dabbing it off. You can see the print of the paper towel or something like that. Like when you're doing craft painting and you use a sponge. And what I love is that's going to add dimension to the next layer. So dramatic. A little bit over here. Actually, whatever green this is, working out reasonably well. Oh, look, I printed on that. Because I turned it around, I printed from this page on this. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going over it in oils. So I can always just change that if I want. Or I could do something like this. There. Need to get a little bit of this light green going on up here for flow, for balance. And weirdness. Here. And weirdness. Okay. Before we put down the oranges for the bird of paradise and other flowers, I'm just going to put in some of my vines, which are going to add a nice lightness. Yep, don't have any other colors. There we go. And there it is. So we're going to do do the best we can. If you notice, I'm not worried about anything too much. I never am. It's all going to work out in the end. It's all going to be fine. Periodically, I step back and I do this to check for the feel of balance. Most of the time, I'm breathing in aerosol spray, like a dummy. Yep, we're getting there. Let's grab another one. Now, we cut these out in another video, and if you remember, we used, is my bra showing? If you remember, we used, oh, my hair, I look fantastic. If you remember, we used Bristol paper. This is going to last a really long time. It's nice and thick and heavy. Just as a reminder, Bristol paper, Strathmore Bristol paper is just happens to be one that I like, just because I do. There's really no rhyme or reason. I just like it. We're just going to put a couple more of these in, then we're going to move on to the flowers. Because I can always add on to these using oils, add a few more curlicues with oils. As Bugsy would say, meow, meow, meow. Or as Kitty would say, meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. And I'm kind of Kate stuck to this Bird of Paradise stem, but what I'm covering, I'm making layers in here because that's how a flower arrangement would feel. When I was younger and less experienced, it would have been, this is a flower, boom, and I wouldn't have painted over the image. But now it's far more fun to make all these layers. But then, hang on. Whoops, okay, so that Bristol came apart, but I can just tape it back together. I had too much paint on it, so it stuck to the canvas. All right, never listen to me when I say something will last. But again, I can just tape it together. So what was I saying? Oh, I was afraid when I was less experienced, I was younger, I was a newer painter, to kind of layer things. I would do, this is a flower, and it's gonna sit right in the center, and it's very important. Now I do this. I just create absolute chaos, and it's funner. And it allows me later to find these really magical, rich, abstract shape. So I'm not saying, I'm indirectly telling the viewer, this is a bird of paradise, but I'm saying it through abstract shapes. All right, time for the little blossoms. Time's for the little blossoms. I'm putting down an orange, the orange I have left. It's a hard enough life for me when I'm painting on a budget, me. There it is. I was looking for you. Now, normally in a flower arrangement, I'd go 1, 2, 3, have one hanging down this way, but I didn't think when I was cutting out the stencils to make one that would be working this way, and I don't care. There is that. There is that thing. We're gonna get rid of that. Okay. I'm gonna add the little throaty, sticky outy tonguey thing. We did it there, but let's do it again. Make it a little bigger. On Bird of Paradise, they've got the yellow and orange blossoms coming up, but then they've got this sticky outy tonguey thing that kind of looks like a harpoon. Like a little Bird of Paradise flowery harpoon, and it's blue. adding like a cyan blue, just lightly. No one's gonna see it. It's just for me. Pretty much everything we're seeing are just notations for me. It's not the actual painting, it's the underpainting. And if you don't know what I mean by underpainting, it is pretty much all the work that leads up to the surface that you'll see in the end. Okay, time for flowers. We're gonna put in, where did you go? Oh, found another stencil, but that's okay. We're just gonna leave it as is. I'm gonna put in some lilies. And we're almost out of pink. Okay. When I'm doing floral design, I like to have something a little bit lighter up here, up high. So the bird of paradise throats and stems are right here. If this were a more elongated canvas, it would be perfect. We're gonna go with what we have and we're not gonna worry about it, right? Right. And we're going to pretend that lilies can bend downwards without being forced. Because we can pretend anything. This is all make-believe anyway. There are no rules. Rule number one, or rule number something, there are no rules. You want to go over the, no, go behind. Come on, come on. Make it through this one. I don't want to square this off though. I've made that mistake in a couple of paintings yet. What I mean by square it off is like flower, 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 flower. So I'm only painting part of the stencil, so I can get some depth and some abstract realism. Gonna do the same thing up here, not the whole stencil, just part of it. I think we'll do the same thing. There's my dryer. Right there. Just so it's going to be eventually peeking out from behind the bird of paradise right there. Let's do another one. A little peekaboo flower. Okay. We're going boink, boink, boink. No. We'll leave that. I had this purple that I absolutely hated. I think it ran away from home because it knew I hated it so much. So we can't use that. So I'm going to try this really bright yellow that I can always take and turn into something less offensive. Been talking to a number of painters lately. Trying to coach kind of coaching and mentoring. And one thing I have not said that I have meant to repeat, because I've said it before in other videos, is choose a color that just makes you happy. Yellow doesn't make me particularly happy, but I can transform it. Like these, the stems don't need to be green. The vines don't really need to be green. Just pick a color that makes you happy. Then you have the option of transforming it to something slightly more realistic or not. But give yourself that option. My brown people aren't brown. My white people aren't white. I don't limit them to their race. I don't limit them to their race. Oh, there we go. I like my people to feel like they're having a deeper conversation with the viewer. And we can do the same thing here. These could turn out being a purple. They could turn out a blue. I could even change that. They don't have to be the pink of a lily. Pink doesn't necessarily make me happy at all, but it's what I've got, so who cares? If you have a broken typewriter, let's pretend we use typewriters. If you have a broken typewriter, would you stop typing? Would you stop writing just because one letter on the keyboard or the strokes is broken? Or would you find another way? I think I need sticks right here. Do those in a deep blue. see. We have a little too wide. That's going to be too thin. So I'm going to go back to my stencil. Now in flower arranging, the sticks should be right up here to add lightness. But this is what we have to work with. I can always find my masking tape when I don't need it. Oh, there it is. Oh, hi. Okay. So yeah, choose, when you're starting a painting, this is my suggestion to people that are just kind of trying. Choose a color or colors that just very simply make you happy. They don't have to make sense to anyone but you. And I do that choose colors that make me happy so I can go into the painting feeling fresh and alive, as opposed to this is how it's supposed to look, which is deeply confining and claustrophobic. If you want to feel free, give yourself that gift of freedom. Start out with just whatever you like. You can refine it later. Or not. Okay, we've got some little sticks in. Now I'm going to add some little orange flowers, which again, I can just change. Just gonna use it because I got it. Use it because I got it. Once again, this is a stencil used from another painting. My portrait of singer Lauren Mitchell. It's at Chasen Gallery in Sarasota. It's 6 feet long. I made these fans for her. Well, that would be fun to put in fans. Maybe another time. Okay, I'm almost done. Then I'll go shower and stop being stinky. I'm almost all done with this layer, rather. And I always want to put in red. I think though, maybe because of the client, I was thinking about a seashell, but I don't want to be too obvious either. In this particular situation, it could work out well for the client, or people could just hate it because they don't want too much seashore, too much trite. Again, making another note to myself. I'm just gonna kind of shorten that up a little bit. Okay. Let's shorty right here. Take my magic mirror, my little romper room mirror. It's a lot fuller over here when I look at it in the mirror. It's not centered, which is fine. I don't want it centered. So now I've just got the basics all laid out. Don't do that. There. All right, I've got all the basics laid out. I can go shower now, and then I'll come back and I can add leaves. Let me make a note using oil pastel. I can make, like I just did, I can make leaves using oil pastel or oils. It doesn't really matter. Although it'll add another dimension again, as opposed to just aerosol and then oil. We'll see what happens. Anyway, oh my God, my hair. Time to go shower. Mission complete. I'm Beck Lane, this is Studio 120. If you haven't been here before, and I forgot to mention it at the beginning, Studio 120 is just about an artist, and it's chronicling the life of an artist, the artwork they make. There are live painting sessions where this is what we do for up to 3.5 hours a day. Sometimes I'm in my pajamas, sometimes I'm in a nice clean shirt. All the time I am sweating because it's 900 degrees in here. But if you enjoy Studio 120, which I think of as a mixture of Julia Childs meets a whacked out Bob Ross. They make up together, made a baby, and it was me. Things come out of my mouth sideways, upside down. They don't always make sense. And sometimes I forget what I'm talking about. But the focus is always this: creating artwork and to keep moving, always. Since 2013, the videos have been about keep moving forward and trying to reach our goals. So I'm gonna go shower, but if you get a chance, if you like Studio 120, check out Beck Lane on Patreon. Check out Beck Lane and Beck Lane Gators in Mass on Facebook, where you can purchase prints of my artwork printed on Gators en Masse. So prints or posters of my artwork. You can tell me what image you like. Well, I'm being convoluted again. But you can pick out images that you like of my artwork, and we can have them printed on, Gators en Masse and or posters prints. So we've got Beck Lane Gators en Masse on Facebook. We've got me, Beck Lane on Facebook. And then if you'd like to do one-time tips, because I'm a genius and I'm very weird, entertaining, and sweaty. If you'd like to do one-time tips, we have Cash App, and my username on Cash App is Beck2583. Beck at 25883. And then PayPal. My username on PayPal is becklane@ymail.com. Becklane@ymail.com. It's like yahoo.com, but without the ahoo part. So becklane@ymail.com. And let's do the Patreon jingle. Ready? Patreon, #cats, meow, meow, meow. I'll explain later. Gotta go shower now. Ciao, ciao, ciao.